ICAEW right here in Sunway University. Next month next week he will be beginning his internship in Sunway Group, and he is the incoming Sergeant at Arms for Sunway Toastmasters Club. So can we please give a round of applause for Tan Chee Yong? Let me finish my sentence first, please. A round of applause for Tan Chee Yong with his speech titled "The Change You Need." The change you need, Tan Chee Yong.
Everybody wants a fulfilling life. We all wanted to wake up every day and feel excited about it. But most often, we are stuck by our life struggle, and somehow we just couldn't achieve this kind of lifestyle. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and friends. I remember when I was in my A-level days, I was at my life lowest point. Well, not that I lived a long life, but I had my lowest. You know why? Because I was constantly stressed out all the time. I was in a class full of talented overachievers. Ladies and gentlemen, raise up your hand if you have ever met any talented overachievers before in your life. Yes, it's very talented. Now, if you mix all this together, you got my class. And I'm serious because they are very good. You got my class, okay? But the thing is, I always score the top 5 in the class consistently from the bottom. And when you are at the bottom, that's where you feel the stuck. When you're stuck with a one-on-one section with your teacher. And every time my teacher will say something that I'll always remember. Chee Yong, you must always remember to do your past year. That is the change you need. Got it? And sorry, I disappointed her. But it was the pressure from all these one-on-one sections, from the students, the overachievers in my class, as well as the difficulty of the subject itself, that eventually eat me up. And when you are in the life struggle, your life cannot be fulfilling. I lost all my passions in the engineering field and decided to find alternatives. And there is where I ended up in the accountancy field. But there's one thing. I have always been a science student. And I really have zero knowledge when it comes to economy, business, or finance. So what do? I do that one thing, that little did I know, that has so much impact in my life, eventually it changes it. Books. Now, the first book I read is called The Great Degenerations by Niall Ferguson. This book talks about why financial institutions and modern economics are falling. But the key is, this book is so special, it's not because of the content, but the fact that it leads me to my loved one. Economics. You see, for 19 years in my life, I never know anything about economics, and suddenly, after reading these books, everything began to come to my life. Supply and demand, interest rate, and product life cycle, if I still remember. And all these things began to come to my mind, and I realized that there's a new perspective that formed, that began to shape my mind. Just like how economics shifted our society. I began to feel so hyped up that every single day has been so fulfilling. I wanted to wake up every day so eagerly to learn something new. And that is when I realized reading books expand your mind to new possibilities. And economics was my new possibilities. Now one day, a thought came to my mind. I said, if reading economics books can ignite that passion inside my heart, if I read books about successful people and their ideas, wouldn't that make me successful as well? So I decided to try something else. I broadened my genre of books to self-helps and also autobiography. in this particular book that changes me. It is called Inside Steve Brains. Normally you'll be thinking about how Steve Jobs have innovated Apple, but for me, I learned a different lesson from him. Do you all know that when Steve Jobs, they hire always people better than him to run the company? I do know, and I was shocked. It's as if Steve Jobs just slapped me in my face and said, son, this is the change. Because, why? Because when I was in my A-level days, I often hated myself surrounded with people better than me. It makes me feel very worthless, inferior to them. I often curse them, hating them for why they are so smart and I'm not as smart as them. But one day, I realized that while all this time, all the cursing and hating, I never once asked myself that why are they so good? What can I learn from them? It is then I realized that successful people surround themselves with people better than them because they always want to be better, and not surrounding with people worse than them so that they can feel themselves better than them. Readings changes my fixed mindset into a growing one. And as I grow more and I started to read more, I began to learn more. Take an example. For this book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People actually teaches me that instead of being reactive, we should be proactive. Instead of react to a situation, we should be proactive and ask ourselves, what can we do about the situation? Or, take the book, How to Win Friends and Influence, actually teaches me about things like how should you always see from other people's perspective. And I find this very important when you are a salesperson. And I realized that every single book has their own new idea that can help you to improve yourself. And each day when I read, each day I learn. Readings, books actually makes me a better person. Now, would you want to become a better person?
Yes.
Would you want to feel that fulfilling when knowing that you're actually moving forward every day?
Yes.
Your answer is yes. Let's start reading books. It may be really hard at first, but everything can start slow. Commit to yourself to read 10 pages of one book that you've chosen about things that you want to learn about. If 10 pages is too much, always start with 5 pages. But as long as you don't give up. Because once you don't give up, you form a habit. And when you form a habit, eventually change will come. Ladies and gentlemen, Confucius once said that 1,000 miles begin with the first step. I said the 1,000 books begin with the first page. And the great change comes from great ounce of hunger. I see hunger in all your eyes. I see you are a very fulfilling